Hello, I'm Frank Ball, General Manager of TAA. Nowadays, I'm flying a desk instead of a jet. But with competition as it is between the airlines, it's just as challenging. We've welcomed competition for years, of course. Sensible competition that gives you real benefits, not just mere publicity. Don't be fuddled by the free drinks or meals, because there's really no such thing as a free drink. To us at TAA, there are three things much more important. One is to keep fares down, or at least contain increases forced on us by rising costs, particularly fuel. The second is friendliness. Everybody can use some. We don't just talk about it, we live it every day. The third, and most important, is dependability. It's our top priority. TAA have earned a worldwide reputation for meticulous maintenance. This is why, each time we retire an aircraft, it fetches the top price on the world market. And we haven't ordered the Airbus for next year just because they're fuel efficient. They've proved to be the most reliable wide-body jets ever introduced. We think our opposition has missed the point. And the bus, don't you?
Electricity. Its powers light our way of life. Without it, our lives would run down. ETSA is investing in new power resources to ensure a constant supply of vital electricity. Invest in the ETSA cash loan and earn up to 12.3% interest per annum. Invest in electricity and invest in the future of our state.
You feel special when you step out of the hair factory. Sports Girl and Durnan Coat.
New Standish Jaguar 10-speed, tested and approved to Australian Standard 1927, featuring Shimano 10-speed self-centering gear at all Standish stores.
Thank you very much. The computer is something that's changing our lives, and I suppose that goes without saying. And there is virtually nothing in our day-to-day lives that is not linked or about to be linked to a computer in some way. Your shopping, your cleaning, your television viewing, you name it, a computer will do it. In fact, there's only one thing that I can think of that it can't do. Although the way computer technology is leaping ahead in such gigantic bounds, nothing would surprise me. Just think about this for a minute. This is true. If other industries had compacted their products and brought down the costs at the same pace, the same ratio that the computer people have, then this is true. We worked this out today with a computer. You'd be able to buy an around-the-world airline ticket for $48. The trip would take a mere 24 minutes. A pound of steak would cost 6 cents, and the average six-cylinder car would give you 550 miles to the gallon. Now, that's pretty mind-blowing stuff. But according to my next guest, Tony Cooks, computers are not the things to fear that everyone thinks they are. At least that's what he claims. To tell us about computers and demonstrate some of their incredible functions, please welcome from the Hewlett-Packard Company, Tony Cooks. Here you go. Well, I suppose we should start off with, we've got one over here that people can have a look at while we're talking, but we should start off with what is a computer?
Oh, that's a big question, Don.
Yes, I know.
What's a computer? It's everything from an automated filing cabinet to something that does computations for you, remembers things. What is a computer?
Well, I guess to me, it's a library of information in a very miniature fashion.
It's something that allows you to do computations repetitively, things that you thought of doing before. You program them, you put them in the machine, and then you can go on doing them repetitively without you having to do them. You can leave the machine to do it. It allows you to store results away from many decades, pull it back, sort it in any form you like. So it's like a great big filing cabinet. There's nothing magical about it.
Yeah.
It's probably, as we mentioned before, probably the most expensive, most sophisticated, most elegant way man has ever invented for making mistakes.
Yes. But, yes, that's right. When your bank sends you a thing and says you owe us $900,000, you know the computer's gone wrong or something.
The computer doesn't make mistakes. It's the people that make mistakes.
Right, the people.
The computer only does what you tell it to do.
Right. Now, I suppose the biggest advance in computers has been able to be the reduction in size.
Yes, that has been just phenomenal. You mentioned it in the intro there. Computers, we have a thing we call the price-performance ratio. Computers are improving at the rate of something like 30% per year. That means they get cheaper by 30% per year, or they get more powerful by 30% per year. They've been doing it for like 10, 20 years, and they're going to be doing it for the next 5 or 10 years.
Let's take a look at a couple of things here which I'd like to show people. Everybody would know what that was. I'll just hold that up for a minute. That's an old valve from, well, I suppose, radios. This is the old way they used to do it.
Yeah, this is a valve that...
What was the function? What was the function of a valve, then?
A valve essentially is an electronic switch. It's a way of switching things on and off in terms of electrical circuits. Okay. It also amplifies things.
That's the old one. This would be a newer one. This would be a more up-to-date one.
Yes, that's a more modern valve. You're going to lose that one off the table.
No, it's all right. Okay.
That's a more modern valve, current, or maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Now, let me hold it up in comparison of size to that so you can see that. And then I'll hold this piece here still for you. And we'll let you talk about a few things, Tony. Here now. If I can hold this here, let me get my finger behind it just so I can stay out of the way. And you can tell them a couple of things about this.
You can bring the camera right in there. Probably just about seeing the top corner of the circuit here, just about where my pen is pointing, there's a little black piece.
Yeah.
That's a transistor, and most people know what a transistor is. It's essentially what a valve is.
Right.
So those big valves would be reduced to transistors, and that happened about 5 years or so ago. Then the next stage after that, all these little components down the side of the board here were further shrunk into these little silver circuits. Now, those little silver circuits there would have the equivalent of about 3 to 10,000 of these items on them. So each one of those little silver circuits is equivalent to about 3 to 10,000 of those valves. And then if we take each one of those silver circuits, it's everything on that board there, the next level of technology were these ones. So those circuits there, each one of those is equivalent to the total of that board there. So, there are many thousands of, the equivalent of many thousands of valves sitting right in there.
And you can actually, you program these things by what you etch onto these little things here.
That's correct. Right? If we had a microscope here or something, you could look at these little silver parts here, and they would look like complete circuits, like the rest of the circuit you can see outside here.
Right.
So we've got the equivalent of something like 10, 12,000 transistors in each one of these circuits.
Right. So consequently, it means you can store a lot more information in a lot less space and possibly perform a lot more functions by doing that.
Yeah, you can get more functions on each individual chip, which reduces the number of connecting wires that you need between chips. So nowadays, it's possible to build a complete computer on one of those little silver chips.
Let's get up over here because I want to show some people something. I just want them to have a look at this so we can see what this is all about. We'll get you in just a second. Now, how can a computer work in, let's say, for example, with the home,
Well, there are many tasks in the home that could very easily and very readily be automated. We were talking earlier about television programs and things like that. And you can visualize, we'll cast our minds forward maybe about 2 or 3 years. And this is what
a long time in the computer game.
That's an eon in the computer game.
Right,
6 months is a long time to us. Things change that fast. If you go forward about 2 or 3 years, it'll be quite possible. In fact, it's possible today, but it just hasn't been done. But let's say 2 or 3 years from now, there's no reason why you shouldn't on a Thursday open your Melbourne Age or whichever city you're in, get out the television guide, have a look down at it and see your favorite programs. You might say on Friday, I want to look at such a film at 8:30 on that particular channel. You want to watch the news on ABC or whatever, and so on. And you're chatting away about what you'd like to see, which you maybe haven't realized, of course, your television is listening to you and making notes of what you're saying. And so come the appropriate time, that maybe 5 o'clock at 8:30, you happen to be out visiting your relations, the computer could sense whether you're in the house or not, your computer being the television now, of course. The television can have a computer built into it, because remember, we can make them the size of your little fingernail. That computer could be inside the television, and with the aid of a capacitance relay or something like that, can tell whether you're in the house or not. And if you're not in the house, Well, it could turn on the videotape recorder, record the program for you. When you came back, you put your key in the front door, and the computer, or the television, as set as it would be then, could say, oh, that film you wanted to watch at 8:30, I'm sorry you weren't in at the time, so I put it on the videotape for you. There's no reason why not. It's quite possible now.
That's the point and also, I understand with shopping. Now, I heard, I spoke to a man on radio a couple of years ago that you could get to the point where you could have a certain amount of things that you shop for in your house if something was missing.
Yeah, it's possible to do that. There is actually shopping being done right now in Europe where you go into these big department stores and you don't take a trolley with you, you don't pick anything up. You have one of those little cards, rather like a credit card with a magnetic stripe on it, and you walk around the shelves, you see things you like, you record the information of what you want by poking your card in a hole, and when you get to the cash register, there's a printout of what you owe, you put your card in there, it's debited from your account, you drive round to the parcel pickup, and there are all your goods waiting for you. And you haven't picked anything up anyway.
We're really going to do. Let me meet this gentleman. This gentleman is who?
Robert Day is one of the systems analysts.
Say hello to Robert Day, will you please? Cross around over that side. Now, Tony, Robert is going to talk to us about this particular computer that you have here. There are some things here. Now, you programmed this one to do certain things, right? Okay. Now, the first one we're going to look at, of course, you tell me about what architects could use or what people could use in filing information to a computer and changing things around if they wish to. Is that right? Give us a demonstration of that, Robert, so we can see what it is we're talking about.
Well, first thing is, this is a desktop computer and it's the latest of its technology. By pressing these buttons, I can select some function that the machine will do. Now, suppose you were in an office and you would like to add some furnishings to an extension that you've made to that office.
Right.
The sort of thing that you could do was use this pen, which is a light pen.
Can we bring the lights down a little so we can have a good look at this, please, because it's all coming in. There it comes. Now what is that exactly? Tell me first what that is.
This is a floor plan of some hypothetical building.
Right.
And we've made an extension to that hypothetical building.
This is the extension here.
That's correct, yes.
Right.
And we need to fill that extension with some furniture. I'm sure you've been through this exercise with cardboard cutouts and so on.
Right.
Allow me to demonstrate. I think visually is the best way to approach this. Now, on the side of the screen here, I have what we call a menu. And from this menu, we select with this pen the step that we wish to take.
Right.
Now, as you can see, there's plan, furniture, lighting, the master, layout, and to add some furniture.
Right.
And what I would like to do now is to add some furniture to this floor plan layout. So I'll take this pen, point it at the furniture, press the little button, and presto, we have some furnishing.
Right, I see.
Okay. So now we might like to put something there. We'll take a table, and we'll select the table, and now we have appearing on the screen a little crosshair.
Right.
This crosshair can be moved using this pen. Okay? So we take the crosshair to the position that we want to adopt. Presto, we have the table.
Right.
Now, we might like to take some other piece of furniture, like the chair. Again, we pick up the little cross, put there, back, we've got a chair.
Right.
Now, you might like to divide this area up and so on by putting a room divider.
Right.
Unfortunately, this room divider is facing the wrong way. So what we do is we rotate it. And we'll rotate it again. Now it's 90 degrees to the way it was before.
Right.
We pick up the divider, and with our crosshairs again, whoops, position.
Fantastic.
Let's assume this is our layout.
Right.
And we want to inspect it at closer range. We would then go to the other part of the menu, which does the close-up, select close-up with our pen, pick up the little crosshair and say, okay, I would like to have a look at that area and bounded by that area. The computer will now go back into its memory, replot the scale, and it's 2 square feet per grid line. We would now add the plan. Okay. Add the furnishings. And the furnishings there. And
right.
That's the sort of thing.
Oh, that's brilliant. Isn't that lovely? That's fantastic. Okay. Now, what else do you do? Now, I understand there was another thing here, a little space technology thing that we have to look at here.
We've been talking about Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. Let's bring us a little bit closer to our time.
Yeah.
And in the very near future, we're going to send a space shuttle out of Earth orbit. Yeah. So, because we can express the form of the space shuttle in mathematical terms, we can recreate heavens.
What the heck? What's happening there?
I've got a little bit of paper.
Okay. Here we come.
Could we have the lights down again, please?
Here it comes.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw the space shuttle. And the space shuttle can be expressed mathematically, so therefore it can be drawn. We're going to split the space shuttle up into two parts. One, an X-ray-like vision of the inner workings of the space shuttle, and another section, which is the external perimeter of the space shuttle, but color-coded according to the temperatures that the space shuttle would meet up with on re-entry.
Right.
And there we have the space shuttle.
Uh-huh. That's shimmering on your screen, by the way, at home. That's not. That doesn't take place on the computer. That's just because of we're doing it here in the studio and things. You have to say. Okay.
A little prematurely, I advanced some paper.
Right.
But once we have designed this component on the screen, we could get that very same thing in hard copy by pressing a button.
Oh, I see.
And out it would come.
All planned on the paper already.
So.
Fantastic. They tell me you can even do some artwork with this as well. Have a look at that. There you are. There's the
sure
computer printout. Look at that. There you go. Okay. This is the artwork, is it?
This is the artwork,
okay,
and this is
we'll have a look at this
little bit of personal touch for you.
Oh, hello. How long did it take you to program this into this?
About 3 hours and 3 days to think about how to do it.
And that's my logo, even with a flashing red star.
I would like to show you something else.
Okay.
I'd like you to guess what that would be.
Okay, here we come.
Could we have the lights?
Lights down. That's Tasmania. No. Hang on. Vincent Price. No, wait. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Leave him down. Leave him down. That's the fellow from TV Scene that did that, isn't it? Yes,
right.
Yeah, isn't it? Oh, that's fantastic. Get entered on a computer.
And something which has a bit of a face and a star and some moon.
And some moon. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Bring the lights down. Here we go. Look at this. You can't mistake that already, can you? Hang on a sec. He's only got one leg. Oh, that's why he's only got one leg. See on the other one. Oh, there you go. Brilliant. All right. It's Information Technology Week next week, 2nd through the 10th of August, right?
Yes, correct. From the 2nd to the 10th of August, it's the week that the whole of the technological industry is opening its doors to the public, to the lay public.
Right.
And I would mention this to everyone, that all the various major shopping centres throughout Australia, all the various universities, technical colleges and so on, are all having opening days, exhibitions, seminars and so on about computers and inviting the public to come and see them. So look in your local newspapers, no matter which city you're in, there'll be something on almost every day for the next week.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, fellas. It's a great group. Dove are going to sing for us. Hang in there. We'll be back.
That's Knock City down there, and that's where our Stork girls have been finding housewives who don't usually buy Stork, so that we can see if the Stork taste test can change their minds. Hi, Suzanne. Who do you have for us this time?
Hello, Paul. We have Jenny and Greg Shaw.
Hello, Greg. Mr. Shaw.
Hello.
Did I just check that you don't buy Stork?
No.
Can you describe the taste of your usual margarine?
Oh, it's just margarine, really.
I wonder how it compares with Stork.
I wonder.
Well, let's go over and find out, shall we?
Okay.
Come on, Greg. Come over to the Stork taste test table. And Mrs. Shaw, after you have tasted that, yes, you have some. After you have tasted that, let me ask you the question again. How do you compare the taste of Stork with the taste of your usual margarine?
Oh, it's quite good, really. Yes, I like it.
Stork. It's the one you buy for taste.
From this range of new cars at Portside Chrysler Albert Park comes this excellent range of immaculate used cars from Portside Chrysler Thepperton, where you can choose from one of the largest selections of one-owner vehicles. And Portside's complete and thorough after-sales service and backup is what you'd expect from the largest Chrysler dealership in the state. Portside Chrysler, 1032 Port Road, Albert Park, just before the old Port Road, and Portside Chrysler Used Cars Thepperton, between Coca-Cola and the brewery.
Sue Butler dazzles on the court and off. What's her secret?
I stopped using washing powder and switched to liquid aura. No powder problems for me.
Aura dissolves completely. Every last drop goes into cleaning and brightening, and Aura adds radiance with every wash.
Aura leaves my wash radiant and fresh. Do as I did. I stopped using washing powder.
Liquid Aura. No powder problems.
Take a holiday, not bad. Take a holiday. A Radox, silk and foam, herbal.
Darling, have you seen Dorothy? Dorothy? Come back, Dorothy.
Come into Victoria Square Arcade and play Victoria Squares. You could win jewelry worth $2,000 from Shields and Burgess Jewelers, plus weekly prizes worth $50 each. At Victoria Square Arcade's fountain, you'll find this board. Count its coloured squares, fill in the entry form provided, and the grand prize could be yours. Watch NWS9 on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. when Nona Burton announces weekly prize winners. And on August 18th, the grand winner. Play Victoria Squares whenever you shop at the Market or Arcade. It's the shopping centre with winning ways.
Maverick Furniture Factory, makers of fine furniture.
Faced with this, a normal carpet sweeper would throw in the towel. Not the new Sabco Whisk-Away. Whisk-Away comes out fighting, with longer bristles that sweep clean right up to the carpet's edge, leaving no blind spots, with handy height adjuster and single-handed cassette trays. The new lightweight Sabco Whisk-Away. It picks up where others leave off. Sabco Whisk-Away. Simply a better way.
You know, every time I visit the Coffee Bean at Tea Tree Plaza, it reminds me so much of home. The coffee's always hot and refreshing. The food is, well, how does one describe what the taste buds can only say for themselves? Take the hamburgers, for example. Pure minced beef, marinated in German spices. And the crayfish open sandwich with lettuce and mayonnaise. Wunderbar. So share to your family a continental treat at the Coffee Bean right beside Target at Tea Tree Plaza.